On December the 23rd of 2006, Ryan Waller, then 18, was a victim to a tragic event. Two males named Richie and Larry Carver broke into his house out of retaliation. When one of the attackers pulled out a pistol and shot Ryan in the eye, things quickly went south. The two were not content with only assaulting Ryan. They also went for Ryan's girlfriend, Heather. She was shot dead in a cold and callous act, and her body was left at the scene.
Yeah.
A young man was left in serious condition, and a young woman was found lifeless as a result of the chaotic and bloody event that had just played out. A disagreement from the past served as the impetus for this heinous conduct, which turned the men's desire for retribution into a horrible crime.
You know why you're down here, Ryan? You have no idea why you're down here?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So I'm going to read you something to make sure you understand your rights, okay? Ever seen a TV show Cops or CSI or anything like that?
Okay.
So I want you to listen up real closely. Okay, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law.
The presence of the police signaled the beginning of a new and more complicated chapter in the event, one in which Ryan's situation was severely misinterpreted, which led to terrible repercussions.
Highest grade you went through school?
I don't know.
You don't know the highest grade you went through?
8.
Despite having received a gunshot wound to the head, the police were surprised to find Ryan alive and able to talk when they got to the scene. Ryan was discovered by police when they arrived. Because of the severity of his wounds, receiving prompt medical attention was absolutely necessary.
GD?
I don't know.
You don't know what?
I don't know. I just want to go home.
Oh, you're not going to go home.
However, rather than providing the victim, who may have been having a life-threatening brain bleed, with the essential medical help, the police decided to take Ryan to the police station in order to question him. They made a serious error in judgment by coming to this conclusion.
I'm asking, did you graduate high school?
No.
And the highest you went was 8th grade?
Yeah.
Do you know how to read and write, Ryan?
Yeah.
As Ryan answered the detective's questions, the signs of his traumatic brain injury, which included mental confusion and disorientation, were increasingly obvious. His statements were difficult to understand and contradictory, which provided evidence of his decreased cognitive functioning.
Do you have a girlfriend? You know a girl named Heather? What is Heather's last name?
The one that lives there right now?
I guess, I don't know. If her name's Heather, what's her last name?
I don't know which name she's trying to use as her last one. She's trying to have a real last as her nickname, so I don't know.
What nickname does she go by?
She probably wants the last name, Kyman.
Kyman? How old is Heather?
16 or 17.
Is she a white girl?
Yeah.
How did you meet Heather?
I've known her since school. I don't know.
What happened to your face?
I don't know.
You told the officer just a few minutes ago that someone hit you. Do you remember who hit you?
I think it was Heather.
Why would Heather hit you?
It was an accident. I forgot why.
What was an accident?
Heather hitting me.
What did she hit you with?
Her hand in the eye.
Did you guys have an argument?
Not really, no.
Unfortunately, these symptoms were ignored, which resulted in a critical delay in Ryan receiving the medical attention he required immediately. Because Ryan did not receive timely medical assistance, his existing health problem became substantially more complicated, which ultimately led to devastating long-term effects.
Where did it hit you in the eye like that?
She just hit me on accident. She was giving Christina a head.
She was what?
She was helping Christina with her hair or something. I don't know.
Who's Christina?
She's on the couch.
Christina's on the couch?
Ryan was subjected to a protracted interrogation as his condition was deteriorating. Despite his obvious anxiety, the detectives persisted with their interrogation. They disregarded Ryan's statements and discounted his claim of being shot in the eye as a hoax.
What happened last night?
I don't know. I just want to go to sleep and go to sleep.
Who was in the house when you went to sleep?
Christina and Heather.
Christina and Heather.
Mm,
And Christina was on the couch?
Heather was.
Heather was on the couch. You told me Christina was on the couch just a minute ago.
I don't know, man. I really don't. I really don't. I just want to go and go to sleep, man.
Well, Ryan, you're not going to go anywhere. Do you know what happened in your house last night?
Mm-mm.
Is that house yours?
Mm-hmm.
Yours or your parents?
Mine. Why? What happened?
I don't know what happened. You're all beat up.
Despite his disorientation, Ryan managed to precisely recall the events of the night. Richie and Larry Carver were implicated as the perpetrators, and he described the weapons they used and the events that transpired.
The living room.
She's dead?
Yes. I want to know what happened in your house last night.
Well, these people came over, Richie and his dad, with shooting arrow, bow, and darts. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They hit me and her with those. That's it. And Heather wasn't there. And Eric wasn't there. It was just me and Heather.
And then what happened?
And that's it. Richie and his dad tried to break in through the back.
The detectives, on the other hand, were skeptical. Even after Ryan insisted on being shot, the detective dismissed his accusations. Ryan's severe medical condition was wrongly misinterpreted as a suspect's deception.
Richie.
I don't know.
Well, you obviously know him. You know his name by
He used to
Richie.
live there.
Was he a roommate of yours?
He used to be.
They hit you?
Yeah.
Now it's Richie that hit you, not Heather?
No, Richie and his dad.
Richie and his dad. They hit you.
Yes.
It was a glaring omission to recognize the symptoms of a traumatic brain injury. This extended interrogation caused Ryan unnecessary pain and greatly delayed his access to the crucial medical care he required.
They each had 2 revolvers and they didn't let off any shells.
Okay, you just said they had bow and arrows. Now they have revolvers?
That's what I meant. They had revolvers.
They have revolvers.
Yes.
And then what happened?
And then they shot us with those.
After nearly an hour and a half of hard interrogation, Ryan's deteriorating health condition was eventually acknowledged, despite the fact he was displaying unmistakable signs of anxiety and bewilderment. It wasn't until that point that the detectives had the epiphany that Ryan might in fact need medical care, so they placed a call for an ambulance. The implications of delaying getting expert medical treatment were disastrous. Ryan had been anxiously trying to communicate to the police throughout their interrogation that he had been wounded in the eye. When he arrived at the hospital, the doctor swiftly assessed him with a critical condition and realized that he had actually been shot.
Where'd they shoot you at?
I got shot in the eye.
You got shot in the eye
I think so.
with a revolver.
I think. I don't know, man. I don't know.
In addition to this, they discovered an infection that had shown itself as a consequence of the gunshot wound going untreated, an illness that could have been avoided had prompt medical attention been rendered. Therefore, Ryan's pre-existing medical condition was dramatically made worse by the extended length of interrogation, which also contributed to the issues that he experienced during his rehabilitation, exposing the catastrophic mismanagement of his case.
Ryan, why don't you tell me what really happened there? Because I don't believe.
I really don't know, man. I really don't. I don't know. I can tell you anything, I swear. Richie and his dad came there. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Yeah, but they put me in sleeping hold, and they put me in sleeping hold with the arrows and shit. I lived through that crap.
Ryan's health grew critical as a result of the delay in seeking necessary medical care. He lost part of his brain and his left eye after being hospitalized for 35 days. Ryan continued to have seizures after being released from the hospital, which can be attributed to the damage from the untreated gunshot wound to his head. In a tragic turn of events, one of these seizures took his life in 2016. Meanwhile, Richie and Larry Carver, who were identified as the perpetrators and sentenced to life in jail without the possibility of parole, received justice.
They shot you with a revolver in your eye.
Yes. And that's
Is it a BB gun?
No, it was a real gun, man. It was just a
If
revolver.
they shot you in the eye with a revolver, you wouldn't be talking to me right now. It was most likely you'd be dead.
That's what I thought too, man. I really don't know.
The entirety of the event, on the other hand, highlights the catastrophic repercussions that can result from failing to recognize and respond swiftly to medical problems. The example of Ryan serves as a sobering reminder of the significance of performing medical triage in circumstances where law enforcement personnel are present, as well as the fatal results that can occur when this facet of patient care is neglected. If his medical concerns had been recognized and managed in a more timely manner, the outcome could have been different.